Thank you, Representative Sims. We are going to combine, every once in a while we combine a couple of these. We're going to combine 1337 and 1548 and put them under 1548 as a committee sub. And we also have House Resolution 1109, Ms. Jamison. So with the report of the Resolutions Committee, do I hear a do pass on Committee Sub H.R. 1548 and H.R. 1109? Is there a second? Any discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you, Representative Sims. At this time, I'd like to recognize, you want me to recognize you, Mr. Crawford?
Oh, I just said thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you're welcome. At this time, I'd like to recognize, I guess for a moment, as a subcommittee report, Representative Fleming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Rail Subcommittee met yesterday on House Bill 715, and before you is a substitute that was passed out of the committee with a do pass recommendation. This is Representative Jones's legislation, and the subcommittee deleted some of the language that was in the original bill, which contains some facts and figures that we couldn't ascertain if they were correct or they could be outdated in the future, and also changed around some of the language in the recommendations regarding what school systems should do to limit their buses traveling on roads without active warning devices at railroad crossings. In other words, there are two types of warning devices at railroad crossings: passive devices, which is where there's signs there, of course, warning of the railroad crossing. Active, of course, is like you would think of a gate that would come down or a flashing light when the train comes by. The concern of the subcommittee was that we were putting a requirement on local school boards to do reporting to the Department of Transportation regarding identification of each road crossing that school buses used during the year. And we asked Representative Jones if she would follow up with the committee, with the School Board Association regarding their position on this. It's my understanding from having spoke with Dr. Rooks, who is the legislative liaison for the School Board Association, that they support this bill, and they're preparing a letter to that effect, although they haven't sent it yet. So that's the report from the subcommittee, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you, Representative Fleming. Ms. Jones, Representative Jones, would you like to make some comments?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In addition to the support from the Georgia School Board Association, I have a letter of support from the Georgia PTA Association and support from Herbert Garrett, the Executive Director, Executive Director of the Georgia School Superintendent Association, as well as Danny Reed, the Associate Superintendent at DeKalb County Schools. And do you want me to go over the bill or just tell you about the support letters?
Whatever you feel comfortable.
Okay.
If you'd like to talk a bit about a couple of high spots in the bill, however, whatever you feel comfortable with.
I'd like to ask the committee's favorable consideration as it was passed out of the subcommittee. To give you a background on how this bill came about, there was a deadly collision of a train and a school bus that took the lives of 3 Georgia school children, 2 girls aged 7 and 9 and a boy aged 9. The National Transportation Safety Board, in doing their investigation, recommended that the states make it a high priority to improve the safety at the railroad crossings used by the school buses. And in gathering the information, they specifically recommended that the states use information about school bus routes that routinely cross grade crossings and have no active warning devices. And the probable cause, once again, was that from an audit report that was done, stated that this Maury County, Georgia school bus, that the lack of school bus route planning to identify hazards on school bus routes contributed to this accident. And I'd like to ask for the committee's favorable consideration.
All right, thank you, Ms. Jones. Any members of the committee have any questions or any comments? All right, if not, at this time, yes, sir, Representative Wicks. Which, you've got the floor. What's your mic number?
16.
All right,
Make a
go.
motion do pass, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we got a motion due pass. Do I hear a second? Second. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And it does pass. Any other comments, any other statements by the members of the committee? Thank you in the audience. Appreciate y'all coming.